last season was a good one. The game's on the up and up. This year it'll be even better. True, we've lost some giants. They were a credit to the game. But we've also found some young'uns. They promise to be the same. That's what the big game's all about. It happens every year. We lose a few of our heroes, but find others who know no fear. We see them give it all they know. We see them give it their best shot. It's whether I'm known or famous. You gotta give it all you got. That season was a good one. We saw a big man walking tall. But who will it be this year to collect the greatest prize of all?
Stone's bitter clash, Leeds versus St Helens, 8th of November 1987. Saints coming out first. To the cheers of the Saints supporters and the jeers of the Leeds supporters. Rather murky day here at Headingley. The rain's just started coming down. It's been bad coming over the moors, but at least it's clear. It was very murky in St Helens coming out and right over the moors. Anyway, Saints team for today, I'll go through them for you now. Number 1, Beavers, 2 Ledger, 3 Lachlan, 4 Tanner, 5 Quirk, 6 Arkwright, 7 Bailey, 8 Burke, 9 Groves, 10 Evans, 11 Farber, 12 Haggerty, 13 Platt. Substitutes today, number 14 McCormick and 15 Neil. And the Leeds side coming out now. All these thousands of pounds worth of them. I'll just go through their team now. Number 1, Gurr. Number 2, Morris. 3, Schofield. 4, Gibson. 5, Bassnett. 6, Jackson. 7, Wilson. 8, Tunks. 9, Maskill. 10, Crooks. 11, Powell. 12, Medley. 13, David Heron. 14, Lyons. And 15, Brute Cowden. And obviously a good game in prospect today. Both teams in the top 6 of the First Division, and Leeds with the multi-thousand-pounds worth of signings in the early season and the close season. So both team captains out there with today's match day official, Mr Hobson from Cumbria. It's Peter Tunks, big Aussie prop forward, captain for Leeds, and Chris Arkwright. Very versatile character, Arkwright, playing at standoff last few matches. Play anywhere, Chris Arkwright, and a real tough customer. Anyway, Leeds to kick off. Saints playing to the clubhouse end. Not much in these two teams. Leeds holding Wigan to an 18 points draw. 18 points each draw last week. Anyway, Leeds to kick off. Deep kick taken by Paul Lachlan. Drives towards the 25. Quickly in Wilson and David Heron bundling to ground. Paul Groves acting half-back. Tony Burke the dummy run onto Stuart Evans. Tunks quickly in there, in with the shoulder and brings him down. Good solid tackle from this Aussie forward. Saints now just getting out of their own 25. Groves again, quickly up at the acting half-back. The ball coming up to Beavers for the kick upfield. Well, taken by Steve Morris at the second attempt. Turns round, Les Quirk has him, flicks it inside. Forward pass there. Yes, ruled so by the referee. But he did well there. Steve Morris quickly took that ball. Turned round, temporarily outpaced Les Quirk, but very deceptive this Quirk. Saints leading try scorer with 7 tries, 2 hat-tricks in the last 2 matches. Let's just hope we can keep it up today. First scrum, ball coming out Saints side, and Leeds being penalised for not retiring at the scrum. So the first penalty of the game going Saints' way. Phil Weaver stepping up, gain further yardage, 4 touch. Finds touch 15 yards inside Leeds half. So it's Saints just with the early pressure. Groves there now to restart. Tony Burke first man in, driving forward Burke, taking a 3-man tackle, they can't even bring him to ground. Finally stop him, referee shouts held, Groves, Arkwright, Roy Haggerty. Turning round, releases the ball, Haggerty. Phil Beaver scoops it up, tidies it up. Phil Beaver's going through, flicks it up. Les Quirk will drop on it. Goes safely. Stuart Evans taking a knock there early on. Paul Farber just fumbles it at the acting half-back from Les Quirk. Leeds quickly in, and Leeds in possession. Spreading it quickly over to the left wing, but Haggerty and Arkwright it is in there. Quickly bundle him down. Leeds again. Heron trying to go through. Stuart Evans quickly in there with Andy Platt. So it's Maskill bringing it blindside. Onto number 11, Roy Powell. Versatile forward, this Powell. Plenty of Saints attention going in there. Arkwright, Bailey and Paul Loughlin. But the touch judge is in. Paul Loughlin being spoken to. Obviously something that's occurred in the tackle. And referee Hodgson awarding Leeds their first penalty. Lee Crook steps up there. Kicks for touch. Finds touch on Saints 25. Bassnett taking the tap penalty quickly, going on a side-in run, but Arkwright, Haggerty and Bailey quickly in there. Leeds again now, putting the pressure on with Powell, striding through, lost the ball. Leeds man picks it up and touches it down, but it was a blatant knock-on. It's going to be a scrum, just about 10 yards away from Saints' line. With Mark Bailey to feed. The Leeds putting the pressure on Saints there. Ball going with the feed. Scrum half offside again. Oh, well, good play there. Loose ball there, scooped up by number 6 Peter Jackson, and good play from Chris Arkwright, saved a certain try. Ball on to Crooks. Is he over? Yes. Just 3 minutes gone, and Crooks goes over to the left of the post. Saints in possession from the scrum. The scrum half was offside at the scrum. He was let to go by referee Hodgson. It was a good tackle. The ball come out. Jackson scooped it up, and from the resulting play, the ball coming over to Crooks, and he goes in 10 yards, 15 yards to the left of the upright. His try there, picking from the 25, as I said, about 10-15 yards to the left of the upright. Prolific goal scorer, this Crooks, just signed from Hull, £172,500 plus deal. The Crooks lines up, takes it to the left of the sticks, so no goal. Leeds just in the lead, 4 points to 0. Early days yet. Saints have to restart. Just 4-0 down after 4 minutes. Phil Beavers to kick off. There we go. Phil Beavers kicks it deep. Onto the Leeds man. Bobs and weaves. Number 2, Steve Morris, tries to go through, but Andy Platt quickly in there, bundles him down. Heron there, I think it is that time, trying to come through, no. Number 12, Paul Medley. Onto Peter Tunks, terrific forward, does it, is Tunks. Held up in the tackle by Farber and Tony Burke, I think. Well, Saints fan, no, Stuart Evans it was, well, Saints penalised for mouthing, indicated by the referee after he must have shouted hell, but the man's struggling in the tackle. What are you supposed to do? You've got to get in there and make sure he's tackled. You can guarantee if you'd let him go and they'd have got over if it's going to try, there'd have been an inquest. Anyway, Leeds now, putting the pressure on. Onto Tunks again, hint of a forward pass there. Quick move, but by Leeds, just short of Saints 25. Onto Roy Powell. Brought down right on the 25. Stuart Evans and Paul Farber effect that tackle. Leeds again from a quick play of the ball. Onto move, onto Lee Crooks. Clear onto number 3, Creason, I think, no, Gary Schofield, I beg your pardon. But a forward pass being ruled. Well, Gary Schofield quickly there, linking up with Lee Crooks. There's Gary Schofield, 185,000 plus signing from Hull. Only a couple of years ago, after it looked as though he was going to be out of the game for a while due to his dispute with Hull. But Saints come away with the ball there from the scrum. Already 2 scrums up, Leeds. Saints, I beg your pardon. It's Saints now in possession, still back in their own 25, but Leeds penalised for offside. Had to play the ball. Number 6 this time, Peter Jackson, penalised. So Phil Beavers to take the second part of the penalty to touch. Unlucky that time, Phil. Just a bit low, you'd have got us. But anyway, Paul Grove to restart. Plan move here. Barbara Platt and Arkwright in. On to Tony Burke. Looking to turn round and release it, but number 11 Roy Powell has his grip clamped. Paul Groves taking it left. Chris Arkwright looking for the gap. Tries to break the defence. Tunks and Heron in there quickly. Groves from Acton halfback. On a run. Spirited run there, gaining valuable 10-15 yards. Haggerty acting halfback. Going on his own. High striding Haggerty looking for the support. Turning round. Paul Groves is with him. Tunks in again with Powell. Gets through some tackling this Tunks, and only about 5 or 6 minutes of the game gone. Matt Bailey, bobbing and weaving, looking to get through. Tunks in again with number 7 Wilson. So it's Stuart Evans now. Last tackle for Saints. On to Beavers. Grubbers for touch. Yes, just bounces in front of John Bassnett there and finds touch successfully. It's scrum down now on Leeds 25 with the Leeds feed. Wilson to feed. Both clean scrums going Saints' way so far. There's Wilson to feed. Well, Saints being penalised. Referee having a word with Andy Platt saying that he hasn't packed correctly. So Leeds get the penalty. Crooks now to kick for touch. Finds touch just inside Saints half. Bassnett to restart. Plays it to himself. Away he goes, going crossfield, onto Wilson, into a forward pass there as he went crossfield. The referee was a little slow getting back, but Leeds on the attack. On to Jackson. Standoff for Leeds today. Off Heron's knees. Regathers it, with the initial knock-on being ruled. Well, I wouldn't have said that was a knock-on, it was off his knees, but Saints couldn't capitalise on the loose ball. A scrum, a knock-on being ruled by referee Hodgson, so it's a scrum down midway between Saints 25 and the halfway, with Bailey to feed, a clean heel. Bailey comes away with it, going to his left. Phil Beavers linking up, but he just couldn't release the ball. Grove stepping up, but Heron penalised for holding the man down, and a further 10 yards for Malkin. So they keep that up, we're not be so bad, we're getting their half and we've still got the ball. It's Beavers steps up, kicks for touch, a superb kick from Beavers, finds touch just inside Leeds 25. So pressure now on this Leeds outfit from the Saints. Groves, and there's that move again with forward Platt and Burke. Bailey onto Arkwright, takes the tackle, looks to release, but he's grounded, plays it to himself, still going forward, Chris Arkwright. The man wasn't back, didn't give him any room to move. Bailey onto Haggerty, in steps inside a one, onto Chris Arkwright, onto Andy Platt, steaming through from deep, going centre field, just brought down in front of the sticks. Lee Crooks and Marty Gurr, and they rough him up a bit, and Crooks has gone in there obviously. He's going to Andy Platt to see if he's alright, so Crooks must have slung one in there. Well, gone down with the elbow on the back of the neck obviously, so penalty for Saints right in front of the sticks. First chance of points on the board now with Paul Loughlin. Paul Loughlin out injured last week, didn't play against the touring Auckland team. Had a back injury which needed attention. He had to have an x-ray and go to the hospital, the specialist, but obviously he ruled alright and he's got his place back in today's team up here at Headingley. So it's Laughlin lining up. Slots it over, no problem for them. So 11 minutes of the first half. Laughlin slots over a penalty goal, reduces the Saints' deficit, so 4 points to 2 in Leeds' favour, and Paul Laughlin's 25th goal of the season. Well, on about last week, a superb performance by the Saints last week, right from the kick-off versus Auckland. Saints put it together. Phil Weaver's the man of the match. We had 9 tries and 8 goals from standing kicker Tanner. A brilliant performance. At Leeds kick-off, penalty goal scorer Laughlin gathers the ball and is brought down just short of the 25. Tony Burke is the dummy, and Stuart Evans gathers the ball, still going forward, but they're taking him over there, brought him down in the 25. Groves onto Farber, straightens up, drives forward. Solid tackling from this Leeds outfit, well renowned for the defensive qualities. Arkwright gives the dummy, tries to go through, Burke's with him, but he couldn't release the ball. Leeds line up well on the Saints, the ball coming back to Weavers for the kick upfield. Floating kick there, gathered by Morris. Coming cross field, gives the ball out onto Bassnett, taken down there, super tackle from Barry Ledger. Jackson stepping up there, onto number 12, Paul Medley. Taken down by Paul Groves and Barry Ledger. Well, never played the ball correctly. Medley, international man of his class, should be able to play this ball correctly, but it's a scrum down. It's going to be Mark Bailey to feed. Just 10 yards inside Saints half. Good heel. Arkwright changes direction onto Weavers. Medley comes through and takes Weavers down. Well, Saints cleaning up 4-0 in these scrums. The ball now with Tony Burke. Powerhouse forward Burke. Striding through, brought down right on the halfway line. Paul Groves, that's it half back. Taking it left. Stuart Evans straightens up, drives forward. Crooks in there again with a solid tackle with Colin Maskell. It's Groves again. Saints taking it left. Arkwright, Bailey, Haggerty. Each one tries to go through. High stepping forward, Haggerty. Takes some bringing down in full flight. Saints still in possession in Leeds half. Arkwright again onto Paul Farber. With the ball going down, it is rather slippy out there, but the ball goes down. Paul Farber knocks on, so it's a scrum down with a Leeds feed just inside Leeds half. Wilson to feed for Leeds, but Saints penalised for loose arm at the scrum. So it's Crooks stepping up to kick for touch. Doesn't look as though it's in. No, Les Quirk has it. Bad kick from Crooks. Les Quirk gathers it. Comes in field. Outpaces one Quirk. Dummies round the referee and still going. Feeds the ball to Arkwright. Yes, all on there. Well, Arkwright comes up with the ball. Gibson got his fingers to it and knocked on. But he's given the original knock on. Unlucky there. Quirk coming over. Released the ball to Arkwright. As I said, it is slippy. And he just juggled with it. It's about 2 or 3 man overlap, but Saints took the ball. Mark Bailey comes round with it, so Saints tidying up, cleaning up on these scrums. 5-0. Andy Platt now, powerhouse forward for Saints. Coming over to this right wing, but stopped in his tracks. Tony Burke, ex-Leeds player, came to St Helens in a deal which saw Gary Murphy come to Leeds, and since Gary Murphy's moved back to Keighley, the club which he came from in the first place. Chris Arkwright. Groves there, taking off the ball. Nothing dirty, but was taken off the ball. Farber now. Solid tackling. Round the top, Medley and Tunks over the top there. But Groves coming away. Andy Platt, change of direction onto Phil Weavers. Crossfield kick from Weavers. Bounces into touch. Super kick there. Steve Morris over there. Looks as though he had it all sewn up. But it bounced and went straight into touch. A good kick there from Phil Weavers, penning these Leeds back in their own 25. The ball going into touch about 10 yards inside Leeds 25. So it's a scrum down with Wilson to feed. Ball coming out Leeds side, so Leeds took the first ball, the first clean ball for Leeds from the scrum. pegged in their own 25, and we've got to make sure it's that way. Solid tackle from Tony Burke there. Super tackle. Bringing the man down. Wilson that time. Lively character. Half-back character. Arkwright there. Completes the tackle on Gurr. The ball coming back to Crooks. Kicks it upfield. Les Quirk well positioned again. The ball bounces back. Gathers it safely, Quirk. Steve Morris quickly up there. Very slippy out there. Rain coming down. Very heavy drizzle. The ball now with Beavers. Going blindside. Brought down 10 yards short to the halfway line. Onto Farber. Change your direction from Farber. Groves. Roy Haggerty sets it up to Stuart Evans. Just brought down on the halfway. Groves again taking the dummy half position. Takes it left onto Chris Arkwright. Inside to Tony Burke. Super play, change of direction from Arkwright. Burke gathered it, and it's the last tackle for Saints. Phil Beavers, little chip kick through. Hit the Leeds man, so it's all on. Ball now with Wilson. They're all going forward off the Saints man. Taken by Gurr. So Leeds in possession. Taking it to the right. On to number 5, Bassnett, coming infield. All over the place, this Bassnett. But it's Maskill, acting half-back. Over to Lee Crooks. Taken down by Burke. And Roy Haggerty with Paul Groves in there for assistance. So Leeds again, spreading it to the left. Short ball onto Wilson, but he loses it. I beg your pardon, onto Jackson, but he loses it. Leeds man comes up with the ball, so it's a scrum down midway between the halfway and Leeds 25. 18 minutes of the game gone. And 4-2 to Leeds. Ball coming out Saints side, Arkwright. Lachlan coming through, Arkwright couldn't release. Groves again, stepping up at the dummy half. On to Andy Platt, coming cross field here to the right wing. Andy Platt going forward, real strong forward this Platt. Saints putting plenty of pressure, had all the ball, and Leeds lying offside again there. Well, they continue to do it, so they'll be getting penalised for it. Gary Schofield this time, the master poacher, gets penalised. So Saints putting the pressure on, I would imagine they'll kick for touch. They always want to have a go for goal. Well within Laughlin's capabilities. If he kicks it, it would even the scores up. Jonathan Neal, Saints forward substitute, coming on with the sand. As we were saying last week against Auckland, a brilliant game, which all you keen Saints supporters, as you know, it's a bit of history. You can purchase this game now, Saints and Auckland, from the Saints Alive office. A real good game. 52-26 Saints ran out, winners, and well worthy of a place in your collection. 9 tries that day, 3 to Quirk, 2 to Platt, 1 each for Ledger, Bailey, Beavers, and debut try for Stuart Evans. So here's Paul Lachlan lining up now. No, takes it to the right, of the upright. Powell coming away with it. Andy Platt, Farber and Platt. Onto Maskill, onto Powell. Evans and Arkwright. Bundle him down. Maskill again, stepping up, acting half-back. Over to number 7, Wilson. Taking it cross-field. Leeds brought down 10 yards inside Saints half. Maskill again, releasing it left. Onto number 7, Wilson. Onto Tunks. Driving forward this Tunks. Maskill again, acting half-back. Onto Lee Crooks. Looking to release the ball. Mile forward if he'd have got it. But Barry Ledger scoops it up. Carl Gibson quickly in there. Snuffs him out before he can turn round. Beavers acting half-back. Onto Tony Burke. Brought down on the 25. Tunks in there again. He's starting to get through some tackling, this fella. Onto Stuart Evans. There's Tunks again, second tackling round the head. I believe he was subjecting the Wigan side last week to some stamping, but going unnoticed by the referee. Paul Farber in possession now. Paul Saints trying to penetrate this Leeds defence. Groves. Beavers. Changing direction to Lachlan. Just to kick it upfield. Lofted kick. Taken by Gurr. Groves brings him down. Just short of the halfway line. Wilson acting half-back, taking it over to Crooks, straightens up. Farber in there, Evans and Chris Arkwright. Referee shouts Helen. Maskill onto Tunks, coming at speed. Platt has him though. Platt and Haggerty there. Stop his gallop, but it's Leeds putting the pressure on now. Crooks, short ball onto number 6, Jackson. Rattiger stepping up as acting half-back. Crooks, kind of up and under effort in midfield. Ball being knocked on, so it's all on. Knocked forward by Saints, so it's all on. Schofield, super tackle there from number 4 for Saints, Dave Tanner. Ball rubbered to touch, and finds touch. 10 yards short of Saints try line. Awkward ball there as Leeds kick it through. 23 minutes of the game gone, and still 4 points to 2 in Leeds' favour. Well, Leeds played one more than Saints in the league this season. They played 8 to Saints 7. The ball coming away there. Mark Bailey coming away from it. Groves doing a good job at Tukin, and the ball now with Arkwright. Leeds line up quickly, still pushing Saints back in their own 25. Onto Haggerty. Onto Andy Platt. Good ball from Haggerty. Platt breaks through. Big side there from Platt, but number 4 Gibson had hold of him before to release that ball. That was Dave Tanner coming cross field. Farber again. Well, poor old Farber, he just can't do anything right today. 3 times he's knocked on, but it is very slippy out there. Heavy drizzle coming down. Good break there. Haggerty instigating it onto Andy Platt, coming through off that short ball. Leeds going down in the scrum. It's Wilson to feed. Well, the ball going in, coming out Leeds side. Rossfield, quick hands from Leeds onto Gurr, onto Schofield, over to Morris. Quirk has him, no problem, and Morris throws it infield, typical Aussie fashion. But super play there from Leeds. They spread it out quickly from the scrum, but Quirk quickly in there, bundle Morris down, taking a knock there. Les Quirk for his trouble after completing that tackle, but Saints there. Mark Bailey goes in for the ball. Mark Wilson quickly round there for Leeds, hint of offside, but not being penalised, but Saints just getting outside their own 25. With Groves onto Tony Burke, still going forward. Burke takes some pulling down. Groves going on his own. Haggerty coming up through. Mark Bailey on his outside, but he couldn't release the ball. Groves again. On to Chris Arkwright. Short ball to Platt. Subject to some attention there, Andy Platt. Heron still going in with the knees. But Groves again. On to Vevers. Kick upfield. Crossfield now. Morris. Easy ball for him to gather. Mind you, the conditions are very slippy, but Morris gathers it. Turns round, comes crossfield. Dave Tanner temporarily stops him. Stuart Evans quickly in there with Mark Bailey. Evans again there, tried to get his man, but Andy Platt finally completes the tackle with Paul Farber. Leeds ball. Maskill onto Tunks. Crossfield loses the ball, Tunks. Regathers it. He's given the original knock on. Looks at the displeasure of the Leeds crowd. As I was saying before, Leeds, they played 8, won 4. Drawn 2, lost 2, 194, 130 against, 10 points, and they're in 4th position. Saints come through again with that ball, quick ball onto Andy Platt. So a titanic battle here at Headingley, and it's proving to be so. Conditions not favourable for good open rugby, but Saints still in possession. Stuart Evans, Lee Crooks in there, very hefty tackle. Mark Bailey acting half-back, onto Roy Haggerty. Somebody's got to break the deadlock here. Haggerty, Vevers. Steps out to one, tries to release back. Carl Gibson brings him down. Groves going from acting half-back position. Sees the gap, tries forward. Tries to flip the ball up to Farber, but it was a bad ball. I wouldn't say it was Farber's fault that time. The ball going to ground, right on the 25 line, midfield. Right in front of the sticks. So it's Wilson to feed. The ball coming out Leeds side. On to Jackson. Leeds taking it cross field, but still pegged down in their own 25. Artiger stepping up as acting half-back. Tries to go forward. No way through for him. Faber and Andy Platt bring him down. Loose ball again. Well, Saints have to capitalise on this. All on. Arkwright onto Beavers. Coming crossfield. Onto Barry Ledger. Onto Paul Loughlin, I beg your pardon. Now onto Barry Ledger. Inside. Beats Gibson. Still going Ledger. Brought down in the 25. Phil Beavers taking a knock there. Saints have to put the pressure on this Leeds outfit now. A try is essential at this stage of the game. Onto Chris Arkwright. Looking for the way through. 28 minutes of the game gone. There's still 4 points to 2 for Leeds. Groves. Haggerty. Steps off one. Feeds it back. Barry Ledger coming in field. Brought down midfield. Just inside the 25. Groves. Haggerty going for a drop goal. Looks successful, yes. There it goes. 28 minutes. Saints reduced the deficit slightly, 4 points to 3. Roy Haggerty there with his 5th drop goal of the season. Obviously a chance of points on the board, having a lot of trouble penetrating this Leeds defence. Good defence from Leeds, and well, Leeds haven't really penetrated the Saints defence. Just that one try from Lee Crooks in the 3rd minute. But Saints having played 7, won 4, drawn none, lost 3, 1-5-2 for 106 against and 8 points. They're in 6th position, and Leeds are in 4th. Well, mistake there from Barry Ledger, coming through from the kick-off. The ball going into Powell, that puts Leeds on the attack. Maskill, acting half-back, onto Tunks, going for the line, spreading it out to Heron. Loose ball again, Saints back in possession. Chris Arkwright gathering it quickly, coming through. Tries to feed it back to Groves, but finally bundled down. I'm saying very slippery conditions out there. Drizzle right from the kick-off. Tony Burke. Crooks and Medley in there. Crooks going in for a second bite. Rather ferocious tackler, this Crooks. Onto Bailey, onto Andy Platt. Leeds line up quickly. Saints still in possession. It's the last tackle of the set of 6 for Saints. Groves up to Beavers, quickly kicks it upfield, taken by Martiger, no problem, right in the breadbasket, gathers it safely and comes forward. Groves and Bailey take him down, just short of the halfway. Wilson acting half-back, Leeds spin it quickly. Crooks onto number 4 it was, Carl Gibson. He couldn't gather the ball, he did it the second attempt. Very slippy, the pitch heavily sanded over here in this middle half. Basnett now going through. A £50,000 signing from Widnes. Chris Arkwright takes him down. Maskill acting half-back. Ball going crossfield. Heron onto number 12 Medley. Looking to feed it back inside, just so to Wilson. The scrum half onto number 6 Jackson. Lofts it over, mile forward. If he'd have got that ball to Steve Morris, the idea was right, but the ball going crossfield. Leeds quickly breaking from defence to attack. Shows what they're capable of, and Saints are equally capable to the challenge. Puts the scrum down on the 25 with Mark Bailey to feed. Ball going with the feed. Mark Wilson scrum half for Leeds quickly round there. The Saints in possession. Andy Platt runs straight at the opposition. It's Peter Jackson that brings him down. Plays it to himself. Goes forward. Brought down by Medley. Groves. Onto Haggerty. Line side. Quick ball onto Loughlin. Carl Gibson in there with Basnett. Bring him down. Haggerty again. Acting half-back. Going blindside Haggerty. Fends one off. Still goes. Well, man's on the floor and Basnett was in there with all guns firing. Ledger acting half-back. Arkwright juggles with it. Onto Bailey. Phil Beavers changing direction. Charge down, all on. Stuart Evans gathers it. Yes. He's wiped the slate clean, so Saints with another 6 tackles. Groves, Arkwright. Onto Bailey. Gives the dummy, still going forward Bailey. Finally brought down just short of the 25, just short of the halfway. 32 minutes of the half gone, and 4 points to 3 for Leeds. Well, super tackle there. The ball coming back. Heron protesting, but Saints still in possession. Groves. Short ball there, onto Burke. Forward pass he gives. Well, rubbish decision that. You wait till you watch that again on the replay. That was a perfect ball from Groves to Burke in wide open spaces, but the referee super tackle there. The ball coming back. Heron protesting, but Saints still in possession. Groves. Short ball there, onto Burke. Forward pass he gives. Well, rubbish decision that. You wait till you watch that again on the replay. That was a perfect ball from Groves to Burke in wide open spaces, but the referee ruled it forward. It's a scrum down just inside Saints half. Leeds to feed. Leeds come away with the ball. Quickly break onto number 6 Jackson. Charged down by Barry Ledger. Gathers the ball, so it's going to be a scrum down again, right on the halfway line. Good ball from Ledger there. Good play. Charged the ball down when Leeds had a 2-man overlap over here on the left wing. Mark Bailey to feed. The Saints cleaning up on the scrums. 10-4 this first half. I beg your pardon, it's Mark Wilson to feed. But Leeds get a penalty. 5 penalties each so far in this first half. Well, Leeds, as I said last week, Leeds holding Wigan to an 18 points draw. They was leading 18 points to 6 Leeds, but they let Wigan come back, and they came back right at the death. But it's Basket now from the acting half-back position, playing it to himself, going cross-field. Maskill stepping up there, Powell, first man in. Going down, Chris Arkwright completes the Andy Platt tackle. It's Maskill again. For Leeds, on to number 7 Wilson. Change of direction to Crooks. Rubbers it through. Crooks takes a dive. Heron going. Well, I don't know what he's ruled there. Yes, he's ruled a try. He's ruled a try in the corner. Crooks grubbing it through. It looked like Heron coming through. I don't know who scored it. Offhand, but Leeds have scored another try. Been credited with it, so Leeds go further into the lead, 8 points to 3 at present. 5 minutes to go before a half-time hooter. Difficult kick for Crooks. On the touchline, but well within his capability. International kicker and prolific goal scorer for the whole club. But Crooks now well into the touchline. Stepping up. Looks good from here. Yes, tremendous goal from Crooks. So 10 points to 3. Leeds take the 7-point lead just before half time. Leeds spent a lot of money this season with Crooks, Sam Schofield and 3 Aussies, Marty Gurr, Steve Morris and big Pac-Man Tunks, but it's not been paying off very well for them. They've only won 4 out of the 8. Admitted there are 2 draws in that, but for the money they've spent you would expect more. I know it's only early season, but this is how it goes, isn't it? Once they start combining, perhaps we'll see more on the table. Anyway, big Peter Tunks there coming through, Andy Platt and Roy Haggerty bringing down Maskill. Onto Crooks. Crossfield kick from Crooks. Trying to peg the Saints back. Well back in their own half. Phil Vivers gathers it safely. Coming up to the 25. And brought down right on the 25. Crooks in there with Wilson, the scrum half. Farber now. Feeds it to Arkwright. Onto Evans. Still going Evans. Brought down by Powell. Heron in support, but he shrugged Heron off. Farber acted halfback. Groves. Onto Roy Haggerty. Steps off one, beats one man. Good eye for the gap, Haggerty, but the ball goes loose. Leeds man gathers it just inside Saints half. Maskill again. On to Crooks. Oh, beg your pardon. Medley this time. Shoulders into Arkwright and finally brought down onto Heron. Powell. Paul Farber brings him down. Gibbs snapped in half back. Away crossfield. Falls down. Saints on it. Andy Platt comes up with it. But the referee rules a knock on. And Saints will have to hit back now if they can. Not so far to go before half time. And Leeds with a 10 points to 3 lead. That barely to feed. Ball coming out Saints side, but he's penalised for not retiring. Differential penalty there. So Leeds with Lee Crooks take the second part of the penalty. Kick for touch. Doesn't look very good, yes. He's finally going into touch. But you know he's hanging in the air. Bassnett, the passage on to Maskill, so Maskill to restart. On to Peter Tunks. Burke and Evans, Saints powerful front row, take him down, finally bring him to earth. Maskill acting half back. On to Powell, coming on a diagonal run. Still going Powell. Finally brought down, looks as though everything was okay, but he bursted through. Looks Leeds again. On to Heron, number 12 Medley. Terrific Saints tackling there, hold him out. But Maskill stepping up there, swinging it right, on to Heron. Crossfield on to number 6 Jackson. Marty Gurr coming through. Yes, and he's over there to the right of the sticks. That's all on the 40th minute. And Gurr going in for a try to the right of the sticks. Over to the right of the sticks. So 14 points to 3 in Leeds' favour now. Lee Crooks with an easy attempt at goal here. No problem for Crooks. So 16 points to 3 and all on half time. So Saints with it all to do now. Phil Beavers to restart. Crossfield kick for Beavers. On to Medley, quickly building up ahead of speed and going down the right wing. The ball now with Lee Crooks. Brought down 10 yards short of the halfway. On to Maskill, crossfield now, Leeds again, on to Jackson, and there's the half-time hooter. So Saints going in, losing 16 points to 3 at half-time. Saints 20 points from a Paul Loughlin penalty goal and a Roy Haggerty drop goal. So as I said, Saints with it all to do in the second half. Leeds, 2 Crooks conversions. And Saints 20 points coming from a Paul Loughlin penalty goal and a Roy Haggerty drop goal. The Saints making a substitution at half-time. Kevin McCormack coming on for Mark Bailey. Paul Loughlin dropping back to the full-back position and Phil Beavers moving up to scrum half. And we all know what happened the last time Beavers moved up to scrum half. He had a stormer. So just let's hope he can put it together again today. Saints with a big hurdle to climb. 13 points down on Leeds' own midding. Beavers kicks off, the ball taken by Steve Morris. Loses the ball. Had the attempt to play the ball. He's pointing to Andy Platt as if it was Platt that knocked it out of his hand, but I can assure you he lost that ball. Real still drizzling here at Headingley. Terrible day for open rugby. Beavers there. The ball will be bouncing off the Saints forwards and coming out Leeds side. So Leeds win one against the head. And to Powell. Just gets out of his own 25. Harkright and Roy Haggerty quickly in there. Maskell acting half-back. Over to Crooks. Kicks upfield. Slows down in this very heavily sanded area. Loughlin gathers it safely. Comes infield. Dummies a pass on to Dave Tanner, but brought down by Gary Schofield. Quirk acting half-back onto Phil Vevers. Taken down by Maskell and Peter Tunks. Stuart Evans. So it's going crossfield. Leeds line up quickly, moving up quickly, stemming the Saints attack. Arkwright, Haggerty, looking for the gap. Loose ball, Leeds fall on it. Leeds in possession, just inside Saints half. Saints penalised for offside. Picking out Tony Burke this time. So Crooks going to have a go for goal. Midfield, about 40 yards out. More or less in a straight line by the sticks, right in front of the sticks. Well, last season when we played Leeds at Headingley, we ran out convincing winners by 40 points to 20. It was a little closer at Nosey Road last April. We just managed to win 24 points to 22. We usually have good games against Leeds, both good class teams. You can remember like Wembley's of 72 and 78. Tremendous games, but Crooks unsuccessful with that kick. Going to the left of the sticks, so it's Saints to restart with a 25 dropout. Phil Vevers restarts the game. Taken by Gurr safely. Gathers up and drives forward. It's Arkwright and Paul Farber bring him down. With Maskell acting half-back, taking it left. On to Wilson. Crossfield again to Powell. Finally brought down. Good strong running second row forward, this Powell. It's Leeds again. Bringing it to the right. Crooks tries to straighten up, but Arkwright and Farber finally stop his gallop. He's allowed to play the ball. On to Peter Tunks. Short ball onto number 6, Jackson. Good tackling from Saints, quickly in there. Got to bang them down quickly, don't give them any room to move at all. Maskell. Onto Wilson. Onto Crooks. Drops the ball and then tries to play for a penalty. Well, he's bringing Crooks out. He's bringing somebody else out as well, but a definite con job there from Crooks. He threw that ball away. No, he just had a word with Chris Arkwright. Penalised Saints there. And Crooks again with one of his con jobs. He's going to have another go for goal. From a similar position, in fact it's perhaps a couple of yards longer. Anyway, as I was saying earlier now, as you know, with these Ryan Pearce Saints Alive video action tapes, they're now going to be available in the Saints Alive office at competitive rates. You're going to get it cheaper. You can either hire it or buy it. And as long as you're a member of the Saints Alive, you get a reduced rate. As you know, that's just during normal Saints Alive office hours, opening hours. So Crooks again, lining up. Takes it to the left again. The ball goes dead, so it's going to be a 25-yard dropout restart again. So this is action replay in about 2 minutes. Vevers. It directly out. Gurr gathers it safely. Drives towards the halfway. Tony Burke temporarily stops him. Stuart Evans completes the tackle. David Tanner in support. Maskell. Line side to Crooks. Good solid tackle there. Tanner brings him down around the legs. Burke round the top. Short ball from Maskell onto Medley. Super tackle again, Stuart Evans, shoulder in, brings him down. Maskill takes it left to Heron. Oh, solid tackle there, must be Andy Platt that. Just can't see. Yes, Andy Platt comes up from the bottom of that. Super tackle from Platt. In with the point of the shoulder and the man's down. A loose ball there, Grove scoops it up. Tunks it was coming through, he couldn't hold the ball. Very slippery conditions, must be like a bar of soap. But it's Saints in possession. On to Roy Haggerty. Pushes off one, still going forward, Haggerty. Harry McCormack, back in half, back onto Paul Farber. Saints can just stick hold of this ball, manage to spread it out. Got to get an early try on the board if possible. Tony Burke. 6 minutes gone of the second half and no further score. Super ball onto Kevin McCormack now. Going down the wing. Just running into touch, just put a foot into touch. On Leeds 25 there. Kevin McCormack there. Coming on, injecting some pace. With Barry Ledger over there on that right wing. Well, both Andy Platt and Les Quirk in the Chairman's 13 to play here at Headingley on Tuesday against the Touring Auckland team. It's the last game for the Touring Auckland team. It's Wilson to feed. Penalised for feeding at the scrum, so Saints getting the penalty. It's a differential penalty. Phil Vevers stepping up to gain further yardage to touch. Finds touch about 15 yards short of Leeds try line. So plan B coming into operation here now. Phil Vevers onto Groves. Evans turns round, feeds it on to Phil Vevers again. Roy Haggerty looking to release Haggerty, but hold on to it, only 10 yards short of Leeds try line. Paul Groves acting halfback, left to Arkwright. Loop movement with Andy Platt. Knock on from the Leeds man. The referee unsighted. Number 6 Jackson knocks on, but the referee was unsighted and he's allowed to carry on. Maskill taking it left. Heron cross through to Crooks. Short ball onto Jackson. Crooks again. Steaming forward. Good lad. Bundling to. Got into the Hull side at the early age of 17, but he's only about 23, 24 now, but he's a good forward. Already a seasoned campaigner in a Great Britain jersey. They're all back to go. Paul Loughlin gathers it safely, rather awkward bounce, but he gathers it safely. Going crossfield, Loughlin. Just can't evade the clutches of Jackson and Lee Crooks. Les Quirk. Going over there at the acting half-back position, moving in field. Obviously looking for a bit of action, Les Quirk. Chris Arkwright. It's Andy Platt. Quickly up there, the Leeds man. Brings him down. Lying up Leeds here. But going unnoticed by the referee. Chris Arkwright sees the gap. Flicks it up there. Just couldn't see who that was. But the ball went loose. Leeds man gathers it. Bassnett it was that gathered it, coming crossfield. Phil Vevers there just lost the ball, but Leeds in possession. Heron, short ball quickly, Schofield, on to number 2, Morris. Steve Morris, evading the clutches of the Saints temporarily. Stuart Evans bundles him to ground. Leeds again quickly, Schofield, chipping through. And a penalty to Leeds, well, Schofield making the most of that. He chipped through, Groves charged it down with his hand, but got hooked up some way with Schofield's jersey. So Crooks going to have another attempt for goal from the 25-yard line. Midfield, right in front of the sticks. So Leeds cleaning up on the penalties so far, 3-1. This second half, 10 minutes gone, no further score. Looks as though Lee Crooks is going to open the scoring for the Leeds outfit with another penalty goal attempt. Dexter finally gets one over at the third attempt. So 10 minutes into the second half. Crooks extends Leeds lead. 18 points to 3 now. Leeds in the lead. So Saints with it all to do now. 15 points in arrears. Beavers with a short kick-off. Saved by the Leeds man. Well, the loose ball. Very lucky there, Leeds. Good plan move from Saints. Ball now with Marty Gurr. Brought down in the 25. Farber bangs him to the ground. Obviously a variation in Saints play there. Tried to catch Leeds off hand. Nearly did so. He was very fortunate. Powell now. Big, strong release second row forward. Brought down by Farber. Maskell-Acton in our pack. Onto Schofield. Crooks. Lofted pass over to Bassnett. Taken down by Quirk. I beg your pardon, it wasn't Bassnett, it was Medley. Taken down by Quirk. Crooks again. Kicks upfield. Paul Loughlin gathers it safely. Comes infield. Tries to take Morris off hand but can't do so. Morris sticks to his task. With the aid of Mark Wilson, bangs Loughlin down. Tanner acting out back onto Tony Burke. Runs into a wall of Crooks, Tunks and Wilson. Well, a little Crooks involved in it again. Not allowing Burke to get up. So I don't know what's going to go on there. The referee on about him holding him round the legs. Is he going to allow Burke to play the ball? He's going to give a penalty. Yes, he's given Saints a penalty. Quickly taken by Roy Haggerty. Still going Haggerty. Tunks, Powell and somebody else pinched the ball off him. And they're penalised for it. And referee in there will have to calm this game down quickly. So Saints going to get a further penalty for the Leeds man pinching the ball off him when obviously the referee had shouted held. Not a popular decision on the Leeds side, but you can't expect anything else from a partisan crowd, can you? Well, the Saints making a substitution now. Stuart Evans going off. Jonathan Neal coming on. Jonathan Neal been featuring prominently in the last few matches for Saints. Made his debut at Trum Hall against Halifax. But Saints now coming away with it. Paul Farber. Saints running hard now. Let's hope they've got the bit between the teeth and can put it together. Groves. Arkwright. Looking for the gap, Arkwright. Well, Crooks going in there over the top. And a rather over-enthusiastic Crooks. Haggerty quickly away. Short ball onto Platt, but the ball coming to Leeds. So Leeds in possession. Phil Beavers takes the man down. Onto Tunks. Going through. Jonathan Neal quickly in there. And Tony Burke bang Tunks to the ground, right on the halfway line. Maskell onto Crooks again. Well, he's coming in again. He likes being in the thick of it. And I'm certain that Saints will definitely give him the thick of it. Tunks again. Farber and Beavers bring him down. Maskell acting half-back. Leeds moving it left. Schofield onto Heron. Saints moving quickly up there. Jackson. Solid tackling from the Saints. Well, Chris Arkwright's being given 10 minutes sim in there for what the referee rules an enthusiastic tackle. Leeds moving it left. Schofield onto Heron. Saints moving quickly up there. Jackson. Solid tackling from the Saints. Well, Chris Arkwright's being given 10 minutes sim in there for what the referee rules an enthusiastic tackle. So Saints down to 12 men now. Chris Arkwright's being penalised for an enthusiastic tackle. The Lee Crooks taking the penalty to touch. 5 touch midway between the halfway and Saints 25. Powell coming through for Leeds now. Hurling for the line. Just brought down 10 yards short. Good run from this Leeds second row packman. So Leeds again putting it together. Brought down again. Saints having to defend tremendously now. Crowd getting behind this Leeds outfit. Leeds again. Tunks. Crossed it through. Well, offside there. Must be offside. The referee had just turned round and the man's there with the ball in his hand and over the line. So well offside. So Beavers quickly takes the kick to goal. Evens the penalties up now, 4 points each. Well, we're going to have to come back, restart that again. Leeds line up quickly here. On to Tony Burke now. Tunks, Powell and Crooks bring him down. Groves acting half back. Over to Beavers. Short ball to Andy Platt. Looking for the gap. Diagonal run from Platt, but the Leeds defence holds out. Groves from acting half back. Good 20-yard scamper. Beavers again. Goes to dummy. Sees the gap. Brought down over the halfway line. Saints putting it together. Gathering yardage at every tackle. Groves onto Jonathan Neal. Powell drops on the loose ball. So it's Leeds in possession, 10 yards inside their own half. Jackson onto Crooks. Flicks it up to Schofield. Well, that was a mile forward. And another one. Onto Gurr. Well, Leeds cocked it up there. But 2 forward passes and rewarded that try. The referee right in line. I was right in line with it and 2 blatant forward passes. But it's Leeds still on the attack. Heron sees the gap. Groves brings him down. So it's down to 12 men. So a lot to do against this powerful Leeds outfit. Schofield again, coming for the loop movement. The ball lost from Crooks, but Tanner quickly on it. Gets knees in his back from number 6, Jackson, for his trouble. Quirk acting half-back. Going cross-field, looking for the gap Quirk. Kevin McCormick with him. Still going Quirk. Feeds it onto Tony Burke. Backing up as ever. Burke steaming through. 10 yards short of the halfway, and the referee raised the count back to 6. So Seats Pitts Leeds there, line up quickly. Finally noticed there, Maskill this time. Noticed by referee Hodgson. So Phil Beavers picks for touch. The penalty there going Saints' way. Still trailing by 18 points to 3 Saints, and 19 minutes into this second half. Jonathan Neal now being subjected to some knees in the tackle. Well, the touch judge finally decides to go on after he stood there watching Maskill. No, it's Crooks again. Well, if that doesn't deserve 10 minutes in the sin bin, I don't know what does. Oh no, it wasn't, I beg your pardon, it wasn't Crooks. I think it was Maskill. Yes, it was Maskill. I know Crooks was in the action there, on him with the knees. Groves takes the quick tap. Saints putting it together, taking it crossfield. Andy Platt feeds onto Dave Tanner. Good ball from Platt, took the tackle, fed onto Tanner. So Saints putting the pressure. Saints putting the pressure on Leeds now. First pressure they've been able to put on in this second half. Kevin McCormick trying to go through on his own. Robbed of the ball by Carl Gibson. Beavers brings him down. Tunks acting half-back. Haggerty and Groves bring him to ground. Saints with an uphill task now. 18 points to 3 in arrears. Halfway through this second half. Schofield, little chip kick through. What he usually does, but the loose ball bouncing off Tanner. Schofield there gathers it, so his Leeds still on the attack. Gurr onto Wilson, crossfield. Well, Saints in possession, they scoop the loose ball up. Andy Platt, I think it is, took a knock in that tackle. Leeds lying up very quickly. Yes, Andy Platt took a knock as he gathered that loose ball. But Roy Haggerty now, steaming through. Tunks and Heron into him, bang him to the ground. Groves from acting half-back, takes it blindside, change of direction, onto Platt again, quickly recovered, lovely ball up to Vivers, still going Saints. First real bit of open rugby we've been able to put together this second half. Farmer now, trying to release, Gusto to Groves, sees the gap, Groves coming through, lofts it up to Jonathan Neal, short ball there, onto Kevin McCormack, gets out to one tackle, McCormack, goes over to Barry Ledger. Can he keep in field? No. Straight into touch. Didn't retire, it come back to Saints, but he ruled another scrum. The ball goes in there, he allows it to go this time, and Leeds come away with the ball. Sees the gap, number 6, Jackson. Brought down by Loughlin. And to Carl Gibson, quickly in there. He's Kevin McCormack, and Paul Farber comes crossfield to assist. Lee Crooks takes him on his own. Taken by the legs by Andy Platt, plays it to himself. On to Gurr, coming up from the full-back position. Right down in front of our commentary position here. Maskell takes it left to Schofield. On to Heron. Well taken there by Medley. Awkward ball, it's the last tackle of the set of 6 for Leeds. Finally allowed to play the ball. Schofield inside pass. Up and under. Taken by Andy Platt. Saints forced back there from that high ball. Jonathan Neal stepping up from the acting half-back position. Big Cumbrian second row forward, signed from the Kells Amateur Club up there in Cumbria. Groves. On to Tony Burke. Eats one, shrugs one off Burke, finally brought down, taken over to the touchline, see if they can bang him in touch, but he manages to keep in field. Paul Farber. Powell in there, going in for the ball, but can't wrench it free this time. On to Phil Vivers. Andy Platt, short ball, Paul Loughlin linking up, picks it back to Phil Vivers. On to Jonathan Neal, going diagonally, crossfield. Goes in, feeds the ball on. Saints keep it moving. Beavers again. Sees the gap. Penetrates the Leeds half. Groves. On to Roy Haggerty. Inside pass to Kevin McCormack. Brilliant work from McCormack. An equally good pass from Haggerty. So Saints putting it together now. Beavers. The chip kick through. Can he gather it? Powell gathers it safely. Beavers unable to gather it, so it's Farber and Tanner bring Powell down. Good strong running second row forward for Leeds, but it's Leeds now. Groves bringing Heron down there. The ball now with Medley. Groves and Tanner finally bringing to ground. Maskell stepping up for the acting half-back position, taking it left to Heron. Schofield, short ball onto Crooks, leads on to Jackson, inside to Schofield. Well, nobody's going to stop Schofield there. Leeds put it together, and over for a try right under the sticks. Hands, Crooks and Schofield combining and ending up with Schofield getting the return pass and going right under the sticks. Well, the easiest of conversions here for Leeds now. But Saints down to 12 men with the sending off in the 15th minute of the second half of Roy, of Chris Arkwright, for what the referee ruled an exuberant tackle. So it's Leeds, 22 points to 3 in the lead, and Crooks there right under the sticks, slots it over, so 24 points to 3. Saints on the receiving end of a good hammering today here at Headingley. Just quarter of an hour of the game remaining. Saints only points coming from a Paul Loughlin penalty goal and a Roy Haggerty drop goal. That brought us back into the game at 4 points to 3 in the 28th minute of the first half, but then Leeds ran in 2 quick tries and 2 goals in the last 6 minutes of the first half, and just running another try and a goal and a penalty goal in the second half. It's Leeds in possession now. On to Heron. Takes the tackle. Jonathan Neal finally brings him down. Maskell steps up at the acting half-back position. Leeds moving it left. Schofield, Crooks, Jackson. Loop movement there with Wilson. Leeds again over on that far side. Penetrating run. Powell loses the ball. Schofield gathers it. The ball's been adjudged to have been knocked back. So everything okay. Tunks. On to Jackson. Heron. Quick hands. Marty Gurr coming up from the full-back position. Dave Tanner. Good tackle around the legs. Peter Tunks now. Picks it upfield. Morris running after the ball. Offside being ruled. Well, Paul Loughlin just going to gather that ball. Steve Morris was up there and he's ruled offside, so a penalty going Saints' way. Well, missed us again, Phil. Jonathan Neal now, steaming through. Taken down by Leeds front row of Crooks and Tunks. Groves. On to Roy Haggerty. Quick ball to Arkwright, back on now. Unlucky there, Dave Tanner tried to flick it up to Arkwright. The ball just bouncing off Roy Haggerty's hand. Tanner up to Haggerty, I should say, and bouncing off Haggerty's hand. So Saints back to full strength now. A titanic task to stop this Leeds outfit. Morris now knocks on. Very heavily sanded pitch down here on this touchline. It's a scrum down just short of 10 yards into Saints half. Phil Vivers to feed. Taking the scrum half position with the injury to Mark Bailey in the first half. Well, yes, and about time too, I might add. Wilson penalised for not retiring. Vivers quickly takes the penalty. On to Andy Platt. Super tackle there. I don't know, Heron, was it? Yes, Heron brought Platt down there in full flight. Groves now, steaming forward off a change of direction ball from Chris Arkwright. Tony Burke. On to Jonathan Neal. Phil Vivers across the line now. Roy Haggerty looking for the gap. Tunks and Crooks taking to ground. 29 minutes of the second half. And 24 points to 3 Saints on the end, I beg your pardon, of the wrong end of the scoreline. Roy Haggerty knocking on there, so it's a scrum down 10 yards short of Leeds 25. Wilson to feed, ball coming out Leeds side. Schofield, good slip ball there onto Jackson, tries to flick it up. Kevin McCormack, can he gather it safely and outpace the defence? Brilliant work from McCormack there, going in for a try for Saints. Right on the 30th minute of this second half, substitute back Kevin McCormack. Conditions and outpace the Leeds defence going over there, just 10 yards in from the corner flag. It makes the scoreline look a little bit better. So Dave Tanner, I think it is, taking over the kicking duties. Tanner. Yeah, Dave Tanner just outside the 25. Looks good, yes. Superb kick there. Superb kick there from Dave Tanner. So 24 points to 9 for Leeds. That's Tanner's 10th goal of the season. Kicked 8 against the Tourists last Sunday at Nosey Road. As we know, the Tourists are at Wigan today, and after they've had a beating by Saints last week, 52 points to 26. Hull beat them 28-26 midweek, so they want to get back into winning ways before the last match of the tour here at Headingley versus the Chairman's 13. So Lee Crooks to kick off now. The ball now with Paul Farber, steaming through Farber. Paul Groves coming to back him up, but he couldn't release it. Groves going from the acting half-back position. Tony Burke coming up. Takes the acting half-back position. Saints moving it right. Chris Arkwright looking for the gap. Tries to release, but solid tackling there. Crooks in again with Heron and Gibson. Saints taking it blindside. Vivers. A knock on the loose ball, slippy ball. It's going to be a scrum down 10 yards inside the Leeds half. Just about 8 minutes of the game remaining. Leeds feed and Leeds come away with the ball. They've cleaned up on the scrums 4-0 this second half after being hammered 10-4 in the first half. It's Gibson, that's in half back. Paul Farber takes his man down, Heron that time. Wilson acting half-back, feeds it on. So Leeds now Medley, Maskell acting half-back. Onto Bassnett, one of his rare touches of this second half. The ball being wrenched from his grip, takes on the attack. Jonathan Neal. Still going. Brought down just short of the halfway. Groves acting half-back, takes it over to Roy Haggerty. Tries to flick it out to Kevin McCormack, but a good Leeds tackling. Stops him doing so, but Saints bringing it to the left. Uncharacteristic there of Phil Vivers. Knocks the ball on, very loose, slippy ball. So Leeds making a substitution there, number 14, John Lyons coming on for number 6, Peter Jackson. Well, not being allowed to make the substitution yet, but at that scrum, Leeds penalised for feeding. The Saints come away, Andy Platt quickly, good solid 35-yard run from Platt. Saints spreading it to the right. Chris Arkwright straightens up, looks for the gap. Brought down there 10 yards short of the 25, finally brought to ground. Groves acting half-back, going on his own from the acting half-back position. Feeds inside to Paul Farber, steering for the line, brought down 10 yards short. Saints putting it together now. Can we have a spirited revival? Well, obviously Leeds tactics, not allowing Farber to get up quickly to play the ball. Groves takes the quick tap penalty. Goes forward, still going Groves. Good play from this £40,000 signing from Salford. On to Chris Arkwright, yes. He's given the try. Well, Arkwright going in there in the 34th minute. Penalty, 5 minutes. Groves taking a quick tap penalty after Farber not being allowed to get up and play the ball. Was brought down within a yard of the line. Saints quickly played it and passed it over to the left. And Chris Arkwright got on the end of it, had his strength, took him over. So Paul Loughlin Back to convert this. Chris Arkwright. Try. Chris Arkwright. The Leeds finally allowed to make that substitution, as we were saying before. Number 14, John Lyons, coming on for number 6, Peter Jackson. Chris Arkwright there, his strength, taking him over there, just to the left of the posts. Paul Loughlin tagged on the points. So 24 points to 16 now. Beg your pardon, 24 points to 15. Saints in arrears. So that's a 9 point in it, 9 point deficit. With about 5 minutes to play. Who can say? Saints in possession now. Groves again. Arkwright. Taking it crossfield, Andy Platt coming through, steaming through. Solid tackle there from Crooks. Shook Platt, and the ball released from his grip. Tunks tags on the end of that loose ball, but it's Leeds in possession. Just brought down 10 yards inside Saints half. On to Powell. Strong running lad, brought down by Burke and Groves. Maskill acting half back. Up onto Crooks. Beats one man, but Groves bangs him down. Inside the Saints 25, Leeds putting more pressure on the Saints outfit now. On to Schofield. Cross to Heron. Gurr moving up. Bobbing and weaving, flicks it back to Schofield. Last tackle for Leeds. Are they going to do the old up and under here? Well, Schofield taking a knock. Plays the ball. Back to Tunks. Picks it directly at Jonathan Neal, the ball coming back. So it's the changeover. That is a correct decision. It was the 6th tackle. Obviously directed at one of Saints' players. So Saints coming away quickly. Chris Arkwright just couldn't release to Andy Platt, as he'd impeded Platt. Farber going from the acting half-back position. Time running out for Saints. Only a couple of minutes plus any injury time which may have incurred. I don't think there's been any stoppage for injury time. Roy Haggerty. Lofted pass. Jonathan Neal in possession, 10 yards short of the halfway line. Ilvivers, Tony Burke. Trying to feed it back, Burke. Finally brought down. Ilvivers at dummy half position. Inside to Groves. Good dummy from Groves. Goes through the gap, still going. Lost the ball. Substitute Lyons for Leeds. Falls on it. So it's Leeds in possession. Maskill coming away from the acting halfback. Lyons again. Over to Powell. Burke and Farber take him down. Mark Wilson steps up with the acting halfback for Leeds. Onto Schofield, loop movement with Crooks. Oh, they miss Crooks out and he feeds, they miss Schofield out again. He feeds onto Heron. Schofield again. Lofted kick for touch, directly into touch from Schofield. So it's a scrum down 10 yards outside the Saints 25. Phil Vivers to feed. Ball coming out Saints side. Wilson quickly up there, onto Arkwright. Onto Kevin McCormack again. Well, he's in for another. Brilliant work from Saints. Kevin McCormack, no problem for him. Right under the sticks. Quick work from Saints there. From the scrum. Vivers quickly got it out of the scrum, fed on. Kevin McCormack steaming through. Through and outpaced the Leeds defence. But it's too late now, I think, for Saints. They're going to level it up. I wish we was levelling it up. They're going to bring us back into the game at 24 points to 21 when he kicks this goal, Loughlin right under the sticks. Obviously, speed is of the essence. Loughlin banged it over. 24 points to 21, only 3 points in it. We've got to get a try right from the kick-off. Oh, too late. There's the hooter. So right on the 40th minute there, that Kevin McCormick try. So unfortunately Saints going down by 24 points to 21 when they was on a real good drubbing after the 24th minute of the second half. With Leeds getting further scoring from Schofield try, a Crooks penalty goal and a Crooks goal, and Saints were trailing 24 points to 3. They showed what they can do. Alas, it was a little too late. And in the last 10 minutes, 2 McCormick tries, an Arkwright try, 2 Paul Loughlin conversions and a Tanner conversion. So 24 points to 21, the final score. Thanks once again for joining us. This is your Saints Rugby League action team. Brian Pears on camera, myself, Ron Hoof, commentating. And don't forget now, you can obtain all these tapes from the Saints Alive office for both hire and to purchase. And I'm sure if you'd like to purchase that Saints and Auckland, a real good one for your collection, a real collector's item, you can see Ken Healy in the Saints Alive office or ring Brian Pears on Rainford 4536 and he'll sort you out. Anyway, thanks once again for joining us. We'll see you again this Saturday where we entertain Widnes at Nosey Road in the first round of the John Player Trophy. This match, as you know, it is televised, but you'll get all the action and unbiased commentary on Brian Pears Rugby League action, so I hope you join us again this Saturday. Phil Beavers to feed. Ball coming out Saints side. Wilson quickly up there, onto Arkwright. Onto Kevin McCormick again. Well, he's in for another. Brilliant work from Saints. Kevin McCormick, no problem for him. Right under the sticks. Quick work from Saints there. From the scrum.